Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for extra support. Yesterday, I didn't do any gaming news program. I went on a busy day, but I did manage to stream a little bit by the end of my day. And also, in the meantime, I managed to publish another VOD from the streams that I've been doing from Death Stranding 2. As a reminder, again, I cannot commit to a proper scheduling specifically on the streaming side of things. Again, when I have time, I will jump in, try to stream at least a couple of hours or so, and then again, I will publish the VOD in 4K later date. But yeah, at the moment we are on the fourth one. Again, throughout, maybe I will increase or ramp up a little bit here, depending on the availability of editing the footage, uploading things, and all that jazz. Because big files, it's a long video format, so it takes a while to upload the videos. But yeah, I will try to do my best there. And today is the last day of the week that I do the gaming news. We will see you on this program on Monday. But yeah, let's go for some news here. Similarly, this comes from yesterday, if not mistaken. Similarly, Intel, or at least we got an insider saying that Intel wants to basically rival AMD with the platform support, let's say, or trying something similar with that, mainly because of the socket. Usually, it's what defines the platform itself. It seems that they are finally officially, again, this is from an insider, so there is no official wording from Intel on this, but to all intents and purposes, technically, Intel doesn't end support when it launches a new platform, let's say, or a new socket. Same thing can be said with AMD. We are still seeing them throughout this year launching at least, I think, a couple of CPUs for AM4 platforms there. And the fact that we saw a huge jump comparatively when we saw a migration from mainstream platforms, using DDR4 to DDR5. We saw a huge jump there in terms of distinguishing a platform by definition itself, mainly because of it's a new standard in terms of memory or RAM memory there. But yet, similarly, I think Intel, from the information that I read here, it seems they are still going to support kind of LGA 700 socket with some more launches, it seems, even with new CPUs launching. But again, it will maintain kind of the same thing that they have with the same kind of architecture, it seems. Raptor, the P and E core stuff there. And it's supposedly within the same process technology, the Intel 7, they got the definition. I think they are already on the bleeding edge. I think it's 18A, something like that. Again, don't quote me on that. But it seems that this new platform that they're going to launch, which is the LGA 1954. Again, this is defined by the number of pins on the socket itself. So LGA 1700 supposedly has 1700 pins or connector pins. The same thing can be said for the 1851. And 1954 supposedly is going to be the same. Again, I think this new platform will have support for higher base, the clocks of the memory, support a little bit higher there. Again, this is a little bit of insider things, but I think the message here is I think they're going to try to, in a certain way, compete with AMD in terms of the CPU platform longevity kind of a game there. I think they want to be on that game because it really is one of the, not only that, but it's one of the big factors that people usually went or still go for AMD is the fact that that platform, that ecosystem will be supported, and you can just change CPUs throughout the years per se and maintain a consistent platform viability because you don't need to change the motherboard, CPU, and memory Just need to change one or the other component because again, it's supported for AM4 and even from AM5. As long as new CPUs will come out, the platform can support, for example, higher clock on the RAM frequencies there to keep up with the CPU. So you don't need to invest in all components at the same time. When you want to upgrade your hardware, you just can pick one and then pick the other, and usually it's how it goes. That's why when I picked my system, I picked for AM5. I took a chance there because I was thinking do an AM4 platform, but I took a chance on the AM5. And I bought a pretty decent quality motherboard, like mid-range motherboard, not all shebangs. I think it's a B650 chipset. It got everything that I need, and again, I don't miss any feature there that I want to have, but I didn't have because I bought the mid-range motherboard. But yeah, it seems that they are probably trying to do something similar like AMD has been doing for some while now, which is kind of have a long support on the platforms that they launch and their ecosystem. I think it's one of the big benefits. And hope they can also, with these new CPUs, again, be more competitive with AMD in a sense that, again, you get good performance. You don't need to just like they were doing with brute forcing their way out of inputting extra power just to overclock or to have more speeds and perform as good as a AMD CPU. And with that, usually you got Intel was a little bit always, in terms of performance, the CPUs were always a little bit higher cost there. But yeah, hopefully they can start to bite not the foot. There is an expression that I completely forgot in English. Sorry, it's been a long day for me. But yeah, hopefully they will start to put some pressure on the AMD in terms of competition. But again, as I always say, as kind of a mantra, almost is competition in markets breeds good products at competitive prices for the final consumer, and it's always something good to see because now they are. If you have two companies, even though I don't like only two companies, I prefer to have like five companies at least. But at least if you have two companies going toe to toe with each other to try and gain market share, it's always good to see that. So because at the end, basically, we will benefit from that. But yeah, let's see how they go with this one. Again, they had a new CEO, I don't know, around a year or so, if not mistaken. These things and these philosophies take time to implement. They got that agreement with the Terafab stuff there, with the Elon Musk Terafab project there. Again, hopefully it will inject some vitality on the company itself to, I don't know, be more competitive, and hopefully we can benefit from that. Continue with some things here. We got again the HBM, so I bandwidth memory stuff there and all that jazz, and RAM NAND segments from that. Again, we've been seeing a lot of not so much memory and a lot of demand because of the AI accelerators and servers and all that shit. Again, it seems that again, I cover kind of a thing of the philosophy of the Chinese manufacturing here, which is they have the ability of basically when they need or want to, I don't know, in terms of manufacturing output, they can in a very relatively short time do these kind of implementations in terms of building more factories faster and start outputting more stuff. Again, might not be in terms of what we can consider a good ratio of yields on the wafers, but the fact that they can outproduce everybody, it doesn't, the yield rate doesn't affect that much because they can output to a certain way that they don't need to have a higher yield rate. But yeah, basically, to a certain degree, I think it's what's happening here in terms with this YMTC and CXMT, which basically are one of the two leading Chinese chip manufacturers. and they are basically addressing the fact that there is a constraint or a higher demand on the market still for this, and the fact that they are basically going to until the end of the year finishing up already some factories for manufacturing, and they will be specifically Yangtze memory technology, so YMTC. They are going to basically double the production with these, I think, two or three factories that they are wrapping up for the end of this year, it seems, and they are basically going to get over the 10% in terms of the global market share, which is basically being the third largest in the world. Yeah, very interesting stuff here. Again, I warned a few months ago with mainly because of the imports tariffs and prohibitions that, for example, the United States input on the Chinese market, specifically on this high-end stuff from the GPU side of things, like the 40s and 5090s, plus the AI accelerators. They have to be kept to a certain amount of performance, or else they cannot be sold to China market. All that jazz and the workarounds that they went about it. We'll be seeing that in the meantime, in the background, these companies are starting to catching up with relatively fast pace in terms of in the industry, not in terms of output, in terms of manufacturing by itself, but in terms of the quality, in a sense, getting closer to the bleeding edge of making these high-end chips, to even with comparing with TSMC, which by itself, again, political wise and all that jazz, we got the fact that it's on the island of Taiwan, and a lot of complications there regarding how things work there from Taiwan, the fact that it's part of the China territory, mainland China. And some companies, again, the fact that even though it's a Chinese company, the fact that they are, I think it's the things that manufactures the chips itself, so the machines, these high precision machines, lithography machines, I think it's called. Most of them come from Europe, but then again, they are barred for selling stuff for China mainland, but they are not forbidden to sell to the island of Taiwan. So there is a lot of trickery around there, but I think Chinese companies internally, they will eventually catch up and probably even supersede the rest of the market there in terms of manufacturing, sorry, high-end chips. In this case, the easier way here is starting with the NAND chips there, because it's a supposedly simpler process than, for example, CPUs or GPUs chips there. And the fact that, again, this will, I think the priority here for this expansion is more about the domestic market, given that they, in certain ways, don't have access to the international market. In certain ways, they are going to try and satisfy their own market first, and then probably make a lot of money on the international market, given that if they can outproduce everybody, they will have bigger inventory to sell around the world, and seemingly the demand is so high still, specifically to regarding AI accelerators and all that jazz. But yeah, it is interesting to see how this will unfold, and hopefully we start with this kind of news and people seeing that they are doing kind of the same system, which is companies are pre-buying allocation slots of the production factories that are still going to be completed by the end of the year. So they are ready. Again, because the shortage is so severe, they are now also do the system of prepayments. Again, everybody wants to make money, and this is one of the ways of going about it. But yeah, we'll see how this one will unfold throughout the year. And then we got here a very weird case that the user bought a 9950 X3D from Amazon, and basically there is only this thing, the cover. I completely forgot the technical name of this. But yeah, again, only the CPU heatsink. Sorry, I'm a little bit lacking in words today. Yeah, but there is a caveat here. The thing is that this customer didn't went to the Amazon site and order a new CPU. This is come from the local Amazon returns warehouse. So basically, it's a return product sending warehouse, and I think through this system, I think it's you have to go in person there. From the story, it seems that these things exist there in United States, and he basically went there. He saw that the price was $180 instead of the usual around $600 for this CPU, and he thought he had a deal. And yeah, he only had a CPU heatsink, and the rest was, I don't know, plastic. So as you can see on the picture, again, this is not good. Again, usually secondhand stuff, it's very tricky. I usually don't advise that much unless maybe if it is a friend that you know how he uses the things there, and you know it's a real thing that that person is selling you. I usually don't advise that much. um, Even in storage or stuff that it might be simpler to get on second hand. I usually recommend always, if possible. If not, again, try to use all precautions possible to not get scammed in this kind of situations. Being on a marketplace somewhere like eBay or Facebook Market, something like that. And if it is, for example, eBay, there is some insurance things that you can do within each transaction. See if it is active or not, just in case somebody scam you. You can always get a refund, which is better than nothing. But yeah, uh, this happened, and the fact that this was bought from this Amazon's returns warehouse. It seems that again, following the logic, somebody bought this CPU new. They just deleted this CPU and they made a return of this CPU, and Amazon accepted. So a lot of people losing money, except for the person that first bought this CPU. Again, I will have to assume because it was again a lot of Q&A on the return part of the Amazon has to be blamed also, because they didn't open the package to see if the return item was really there. Again, and it's also because of the boxes with this CPU come. You only see basically this square here when you see the model, and the QR code to try and see what's in the box is really what's there. Usually it's just this. I don't think it shows even this part of the PCB. I think it only shows here's this little square so people can check this is the CPU supposedly that they are buying. And I think somebody from Amazon just checked that, said, okay, it's the heatsink. Supposedly the CPU is there also. So yeah, somebody got a free CPU, basically a deleted one, but and another just basically wasted $180, and Amazon lost because I suppose they have to refund this because this is not buying. I'm assuming the listing is not buying just a neat sync. But yeah, well, hopefully you will get a full refund and can at least have more precaution on doing secondhand buying, hardware buying there. In terms of games, I'm not sure if I covered this. There was some rumblings regarding Dogma 2 DLC might be announcing there. But still, there is still no official statements regarding Capcom regarding that. Again, people are very hopeful because again, it seems that the game there's some lackluster in terms of content there to a certain degree, and people are hoping that they are working in the background to, I don't know, to launch a DLC to, I don't know, fulfill the promise. Let's say, put it in these terms, to fulfill the promise what Dragon Dogma 2 could be. But because there is no official statement, people, I assume they were looking everywhere for something, and somebody detected that there was a new 77 gigabyte depot regarding from SteamDB. And again, the fact that it is an extra 12 gigabytes of assets supposedly, again, this could be enough for a kind of huge update or a DLC size stuff expansion thing there happening on the game. But again, we don't have any official word from Capcom or even from the developers from the game regarding if there's going to be anything or not. So take it with a grain of salt. Hopefully, this DLC might come out or have an expansion, and I don't know, improve the game. Uh, Hopefully in a similar way how No Man's Sky improved throughout time. to deliver what they promised that the game would be. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if something comes up or not. Again, then got Crimson Desert now. Basically, sales they top 5 million units. I think this is after a month or so. Um, March 19th. Yeah, basically March, April. Yeah, basically 1 month. Um, yeah, 1 month, 5 million copies, which is very good. From what I've been hearing, the updates that they are pushing through in the game is improving and are improving a lot. The game itself, the experience that people are having with the game, being with the systems, even with the keyboard, the keyboard bindings and all that jazz. I think that they are doing a good job, at least from what I've been hearing. And I think they overcome also a little bit that AI misstep that they took with the WIP assets that they did there. Again, hopefully this game continues to improve, and if so, hopefully they will continue to sell a lot of copies. Again, I always like to see in overall thing of overall theme that games when they are good they sell good, so at least the publishers have a better sense of what people are enjoying and to make at least something similar to what people are expecting from these games. Then finally we got a full trailer, let's say a CGI trailer, so only in the last, I don't know, 20 seconds or so we got a little bit of gameplay, but again, um, again, it's a CGI trailer, kind of mood setter trailer for the game. It's around 6 minutes or so. Very interesting. Again, I remember playing the first game, played a little bit of the second one, never went to the third one, so I'm not so inside of the loop, the trilogy arc there with Artyom. I know Artyom is like the main character throughout this trilogy. It seems this is a new one, so I'm not sure what happened with Artyom. I think Metro Exodus, by the title of the game, I think they managed to escape Russia. Again, don't quote me that. I don't know. It's my prediction, taking account the title of the game. But this one, Metro 2039, the mood setting piece here seems interesting. I will not comment more than that. I think you should watch, which is very interesting how they're going about it in terms of themes, and I think the trailer gives you kind of what they are going for. Hopefully the story is good, and again, it seems, again, it's a CGI, so I cannot comment on the quality. It's a CGI trailer that they are look all the same. It's CGI. Hopefully, we will see more before launch this winter. So we got a few months there. I like this short window before announcement and probably the launch of the game, like a 6 months. I think it's good. I don't like seeing something that I like from a trailer, launch trailer, and then only after 1 year and a half, 2 years, they will launch the game. But then we got always the delays here, and I think when you have this short time frame between announcement and the launch of the game, I think that there is some kind of confidence that they can launch the game without further delays within that time period. That's my assumption. But yeah, it seems good. I think it's going to have a new protagonist, and we'll see what the story is going to be about. And again, a little bit more gameplay. See if they tweak some gameplay systems here and there. Again, it's going to be basically a first-person shooter in that sense, with some survival aspects. But yeah, hopefully at least the story is good. And then last we got from Daniel Oman. He did kind of not bare bones, but a PC performance review. He took a couple of GPUs. Where are they? I completely okay. He picked up in this video the ARC B580, the RTX 3060, and the RX 6700 XT. I think the 3060 that he uses is a 12 gig, 12, yeah, it's a 12 gigabyte there. It's here on the video. And he went about basically 1080p, different settings, and all that jazz, do some comparison, RT on, RT off, and all those things. And it seems that the game is pretty well tuned to have a smooth frame rate experience. Again, not the highest possible. Again, this is older GPUs or very weak GPUs and playing at only 1080p. I think he will do in the meantime more videos with kind of I think it's the 50. At the end he put it out there. Again, I'm not sure exactly which GPUs. I think he's going to put the 9070 XT with other GPUs and trying to compare also with 4K. But yeah, he went through. I watched basically the entirety of the video and part of the conclusion. Again, it seems that this game is tuned pretty well for what it does there. Again, if you don't have higher GPUs, don't even get trouble turning RTX on because ray tracing on because it doesn't perform that well. But yeah, it seems that this game is performing well. It's very well optimized. But yeah, in terms of news, this is what I got. Just going through some gaming deals. I covered that Atomic Heart launched a new DLC. It's out now and it's on sale at the moment. The base game and also the gold edition the gold edition and ultimate edition also. Again, I'm very curious on trying out this game. I played the demo there, and you can also play the demo to try it out and see if it's something for yourself. But yeah, the setting seems pretty interesting. We got also Batman Arkham Collection still on sale, 85% off. So again, I like the trilogy. I played the first two. I still need to play the third one and buy and play. We got also Crypt Custodian. Again, very positive feedback from everybody. 40% off. Again, if you like this kind of games with some kind of Metroidvania, I'm not sure if it has. No, it's not roguelite. I think it's more about Metroidvania. And you are a cat, take care of the dead or guide the death, basically. But yeah, we got also herdling. Again, this is a newer game from last year. I was interested on checking this game. I never managed to play the demo, but you can play also. But again, very positive feedback. Give me some hope. And you got here 40% off on this one. Seems a pretty interesting game. You got also Journey. I do recommend this one. 75% off. Again, I played on console a long time ago. But yeah, I do recommend people playing this game if they never tried it out. We got also King Arthur's Knight's Tale, kind of turn-based RPG, dark fantasy. Again, King Arthur kind of world there and lore. Again, with a twist there, but again, very positive feedback since it came out. And again, 70% off. I think it might, if you like this kind of turn-based games, I think this is a good one for you. We got also Nobody Wants to Die, 80% off. It came out a couple of years ago, but again, this one seems pretty good. Also, kind of I think it's a detective game. Yeah, detective noir kind of a thing there. Again, 80% off. This is very cheap. I think it might be, again, it's not the longest game ever, but again, I think the story is compelling. And then last we got Pacific Drive. We got 50% off on the Whispers edition. I think Whispers is... Whispers in the Wood is the last content that they brought out, so I think this is for them to put a little bit on sale the latest one. But then again, you got other content there that they launched. It seems pretty good. Again, it's kind of those roguelike exploration kind of a thing, games that I always like to go about and try it out. Again, hopefully when I have time, I will play this game. But yeah, other than that, this is it for today in terms of news and all that jazz. I will try to do some streaming later on. I will publish later on also another Death Stranding 2 VOD episode. But yeah, with all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.